Worship team. Here we go, Calvin. This is the voice.
Was 4 years ago a state senator, in his own words, a skinny black kid with a funny name who came from a big city, a place Americans don't pick their presidents from, to ride the mantle of change in one of the more brilliant campaigns anyone has ever seen into the White House is one for the history books.
In fact, Bob Schieffer, you have covered so many campaigns in your career. Did you ever imagine that you would see an African American elected to the highest office in the land?
I'm not sure that I ever did. I went to segregated schools in the segregated South. When I graduated from high school, no black student could ever attend any school that I attended. Now that was in my lifetime. Look where we have come in just less than my lifetime. It's a remarkable.
And look at this crowd at Grant Park in Chicago. Cynthia Bowers is somewhere in that sea of very young people, it seems. Cynthia, how's it going there?
It is very, very loud here, Katie. The crowd just erupted. You can still hear them yelling when Barack Obama was announced as the president. They're very excited. They've been working for this for 2 years. And you in New York have been talking about the youth vote. This place is full of young people. But this crowd is just going crazy. They started out nervously, then they grew confident, and then there was a sense of inevitability, and then sheer exultation here in Grant Park, Katie.
All right, Cynthia Bowers, thank you so much.
Sort of makes you long for better days. To God be the glory for all that God has done for us. On the riding the wave of the election of President Obama and elections yet to come, I'm going to ask that Brother Woodley would come now and give you some valuable information about election initiatives that we are trying to take and information that we're trying to give to our members as it relates to elections. So let's give our superintendent of Sunday School a great big hand. Amen. You want to come up here so they can hear you real good? Look good up here.
Well, thank you, Reverend Government, for this opportunity. I couldn't help but reflect back on some things based on the video we just saw. So I want to congratulate Brother Moses and everybody who's involved with those videos. It really brought back some memories about the struggle. Success always comes with a struggle. And the fact that we elected a black president that came with a struggle. I think it's only proper today, as we celebrate Black History Month, that we address or talk about one of the pillars of democratic society that our forefathers fought for, bled, struggled, sacrificed to participate in, and suffered injustices just to attain it, and that is the right to vote. People hung, bled, and died for that right. I can't help but think about the courage that they exhibited, putting up with a lot of the stuff that they put up with, but they realized the importance of voting. That's the voice we have as citizens. We're in the minority in this country, but that right to vote carries some weight. There is power in unity. And you might hear people say, blacks always vote in blocks. They always vote the same way. To try to denigrate what it is we do. But I tell you my observations, black people, we vote our conscience. We vote what we think is right, who's the best for the things we want to see happen in our government. Now, we've mentioned earlier this year that we wanted to initiate a voter registration drive once again. And at the time we solicited, anybody who's interested in becoming a deputy registrar to let me know about it. I've since posted a schedule of classes. You have to take a little class, about an hour's education, then to be registered as a deputy voter registrar, which gives you the right then to register people to vote. Now, my hope is that everybody here is registered, but if not, we don't want to let that fall between the cracks. Anybody who isn't registered, we want to be able to register them. So for this year, there are some classes in Baytown even. And you might notice on the schedule I have posted in the back what those days are. And I've had a few people, Sister and Brother Bondage expressed an interest. Sister McKenzie expressed an interest in becoming deputy voter registrars. So if you just check that schedule and sign up or call the number or just show up on that day at the 2 places in Baytown that will be providing that. You'll get a certificate as a deputy voter registrar and a packet of registration ballots to register people. And I ask that everyone here, if you are registered, talk to your neighbors, your friends, your relatives, anybody who isn't registered, let them know that all they need to do is talk with one of us who will be deputy registrars. Brother Mitchell is another one. But, we don't want to. I think the fact, if you don't vote, we just dishonor the sacrifice that our forefathers made. It took a lot of courage to do what they did. And all we need to do then is take advantage of what they provided for us. Exercise that right to vote. You might notice that in this year's election, there's a lot of emphasis on the black vote. Joe Biden is hanging his hat on South Carolina. He didn't do too well in Iowa and New Hampshire, but he thinks that South Carolina is the key to whether or not he's going to be able to maintain. You know who's in South Carolina? A lot of black people. That's right. And he's depending on them to see him over. But he's not the only one. You see every candidate right now on the Democratic side is seeking to get that black support because they realize blacks hold the key to whoever's going to serve in that office. Right. But it doesn't help to have that power if you don't exercise that power. And I don't care what anybody says. Don't let them stop you from going to the poll. We've gone from poll taxes to literacy tests to moving today. It's all about, we need to move the location where you vote outside the city limits. Make it more difficult for you to get to vote. We're going to make it harder for you you're going to have to verify that you are a citizen. So you're going to have to come up with a birth certificate, a social security number, something to show that you are a citizen here. That's not the earmark of a democracy. Democracy seeks to get everybody to vote. The more people you have participating in a democracy, the better democracy is going to be. So anybody who stands for eliminating or restricting your right to vote, that's an unrighteous person. We're not doing what the Lord would have us to do. But we have a responsibility as believers to do what's right. We're not supposed to sit down and wait on the Lord's return, the second coming. There's work to be done right now. God's expectation for us is that once we profess Him, we know Him, and what are you going to do? We have to put into action what God's Word says we're supposed to do. We need to stand up for what is right. And we have it relatively easy then if it's just exercising that right to vote. So I implore everyone here to help in that effort. Do what we can then to help in that effort. Thank you.
Doors of the church are now open. You did good. Come on, let's give God some praise for God's goodness. Amen. So if you want to vote, if you know of anybody who wants to vote, being a member of Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church lets you know that there is no excuse for us not voting. Amen. No excuse for us not voting. We will, when it gets closer to voting time, we will be making the van available like we did the last time. That anyone who wants to go vote will take you to vote, because it is it's paramount that we get out to vote. Now, we can't tell you how to vote and who to vote for, but we can encourage you to exercise that right. Exercise that right to vote. So we want to make sure that everyone votes. So this time we have a song. Introduction of guest speaker. All right, Tariq, come on up here, man. You want to come up here too?
Yeah,
come on.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Tariq Shepard. I'm a junior at Rochester High School, where I enjoy playing basketball. I'm also a member of Montgomery Baptist Church, The Place. During my spare time, I enjoy drawing, playing basketball, and just having fun. I am proud to be the son of my beautiful mom, Tawanda Wilson, and my dad, John Wilson. Many Americans might take for granted the presence of African Americans in high-level U.S. foreign policy circles. After all, our 44th president, President Barack Obama, and his National Security Advisor, Susan Rice, are black. And in the past decade, 2 African Americans have served as U.S. Secretary of State. But it has been a long road. The history of African American international engagement has gone back to Frederick Douglass' service at the U.S. Minister to Haiti. African Americans have had to walk a difficult line. On the one hand, they represent the government and people of the United States. On the other, they belong to a racial minority that has suffered greatly from both informal and legally sanctioned discrimination and worse. Former United States Ambassador Dr. Alfred Fontenot hails from the community of McNair in the Baytown, Texas area. He is a graduate of George W. Carver High School in Baytown. His undergraduate matriculation was at Texas Southern and Rice Universities. Graduate studies were at Rice University and Sorbonne University in Paris, France. His terminal degree was from the Sussex University in Sussex, England. As a member of the Peace Corps, he had volunteered in Senegal, West Africa, and taught English as a foreign language to school and university students. The Bronze Star recipient and member of the United States Army Medical Corps received this honor for his service as a combat medic in Vietnam. In 1980, he joined the State Department as a Foreign Service officer. He has served in more than 12 countries: Germany, Switzerland, Iraq, just to name a few. In 2006, he was elected to the State Department's Senior Foreign Service ranks. And in 2007, he has confirmed to the State Department's Senior Foreign Service by the United States Senate. I may add that Dr. Fontenot is also a esteemed member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. Dr. Fontenot will be speaking today at 10:15 service.
Come on, Calvary, let's give Tariq a great deal. Tariq, you gotta come back up here. We have a certificate of appreciation for you working in our Black History program this month. We thank you so much for being a part of it. Come on, Calvary. Thank you. All right, we're going to have a song, and then we're going to take up our offering. Amen. And then I have a little homily that I'm going to give before we have our invitation and doxology. Now we're in the hands of Minister Monks. God says, I'll give you 100%. All I ask is 10% in the tithe and an offering. And then I'll open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing you won't have room enough to receive. If you've been blessed by the preacher teaching the gospel, you can put something in your pastor's love box. But most importantly, bring your tithes and your offerings. Everybody on your feet. It's not on the screen, but you've been saying it so long, you can say it in your sleep. Y'all ready? Let's say our tithes and offering proclamation together. 1, 2, 3, go. We give because we're blessed, and we're blessed because we give. Therefore, we are never without. Well, now you're here to our wonderful ushers who are going to lead us and guide us in the way we should go. Conversation today. do. We have a good time together. Amen. You got to be able to have a good time with your brothers and sisters in Christ. Amen. When you think about how good God has been to you, amen, you ought to be able to have a good time with those who make up the family of Christ. Amen. Reverend Kimball didn't mean no harm. He was just being honest. Amen. He said, Pastor, this I'm talking about in front of you. Luke chapter 8. We're going to look at verses 22 through 25. I'm going to read it from the New International Version of the Bible. Today, your Bible should read similarly. Luke chapter 8, verses 22 through 25. When you found it, say amen. Amen. Luke chapter 8, verses 22 through 25. New International Version says, one day Jesus said to his disciples, let us go over to the other side of the lake. Look at your name and say other side. Other side. So they got into a boat and set out. As they sailed, he fell asleep. A squall came down on the lake, so that the boat was being swamped, and they were in great danger. The disciples went down and woke him, saying, Master, Master, we're going to drown. He got up and rebuked the wind and the raging waters. The storm subsided and all was calm. Where is your faith? He asked his disciples. In fear and amazement, they asked one another, who is this? He commands even the winds and the waters, and they obey him. Look at your neighbor and tell him, neighbor, in the midst of the struggle, keep the faith. Amen. In the midst of the struggle. I was sometimes when you have a word from the Lord and you're wondering if this is the word that is needed for the time and the place in which you are in, oftentimes God will give you confirmation. God gave me confirmation this morning when Brother Woodley came up talking about struggle. And he talked about the fact that that without struggle, there is no progress. That's right. As a matter of fact, Frederick Douglass, one of the greatest African Americans in the history of this nation, said these words: if there is no struggle, there is no progress. Think about that. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. If there is a lack of struggle, there will be a lack of progress. Calvin, it is not struggle that precludes us from progressing. It is in many cases our unwillingness to deal with the struggle that precludes our progress. Whenever we are moving, whenever we are progressing, whenever we are going from one level to the next, we may as well get ready because there is going to be some struggle. Somebody didn't get that, so I'm saying it again. Whenever you are moving, whenever you are progressing, whenever you are growing, you may as well get ready for it because there is going to be a struggle. Whenever God has a plan and a purpose for you, life is not going to always be a bed of roses. You are going to find in the midst of God's plan and God's purpose. Watch this. In the midst of God's plan and God's purpose, in the middle of you becoming who God said you were going to be, you are going to find that life is not just a bed of roses. And if you do have a bed of roses, you also going to have a bed of thorns. Because every rose is connected to a thorny bush. Oh, I wish I had somebody. Every rose has a thorn that's connected to it. And too many ought to have the role. We are going to face some difficulties. We're going to face some frustrations. We're going to have entities like Brother Woodley talked about. We went from the poll tax to the literacy tax. Now you got to have an ID to vote. Now we want to move the polling stations further outside of the neighborhood because we know that transportation is an issue for elderly and the poor. Oh, but we've been through a struggle before. Oh, come on, do whatever you need try to do. We'll get together and find a way to get there and do what we got to wait all day. We'll stand in a line around the building. Just part of the struggle. Black and brown people have been in a struggle for a long time. Struggle don't bother us. Shoot, we used to struggle. As a matter of fact, we wake up sometimes expecting the struggle to show up. Because we know we got a God that's bigger than the struggle that we are. I wish I had somebody. We got a God that can bring us through the struggle. Because he's brought us through it. Time and time and time again. We're going to face some difficulties. Look at your neighbor, tell me we're going to have to deal with some difficulties. We're going to fight some battles. Whenever God has a change for your life, there's going to be struggle. Martin Luther King Jr. said, change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. If I want my suits to stop fitting, to stop shrinking when they go to the cleaners, yes, sir, I'm going to have to struggle. Push away from them coats and them stripes. Eat 2 oxtails instead of 6 of them. It's a struggle. Drink water instead of Coke. Anybody want to do it with me? Let's talk about it after service. You've got to be ready for the struggle. Yes, sir. And that's the people in here today that don't mind testifying. And you found over the last 26 months of your life that it seems like every now and then you are going through a struggle. That's right. Nothing seems to be working out the way that you want it to work out. Nothing seems to be going smoothly and easily. Everything just seems to be one struggle after another. God sent you here today on purpose to let you know that the reason why you are struggling is because God is progressing you. God is moving you. God is propelling you from one level of your existence to another. And another thing about struggle and progress is it's hard for you to see your own progression. I keep talking about these suits getting smaller every time I get them back from the cleaners, but it seems like last time I got a suit back from the cleaners, it was too big. Then the next time I get back from the cleaners, they must have put some different kind of starch on it. Because it was fitting firmly, snugly. Then the next time, I got it back, they put starch on it because I just couldn't get it at all. And then what I didn't notice was in you, oftentimes it's difficult for you to see the change. Listen, we talking about weight, we may as well go on with it. Anybody ever got on the scale and said, what? I need some new batteries or something for this. And then the people that you love will come and tell you, I've been telling you that you were. Everybody recognized it but you. Why? Because it's difficult to see change in yourself. And some of us, God is taking us to another level in Him. And it's not until something dramatic happens that you realize, oh, I'm growing in the Lord. Because last month, I gave Him a piece of my mind. And I ain't got that much to give. But today I kept my cool. Didn't have no food. Let me call the pastor and tell him how good God is. Struggle is laborious. And sometimes it doesn't look like it's happening. But keep getting up and doing it. And sooner or later, you'll be able to see the change for yourself. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't seem like it. But sometimes God allows you to go through some stuff so He can show you that your way out of the situation is through struggle. And you'll be all right as long as you got Him on your side while you're struggling. Now see, the enemy wants us to fear struggle. The enemy wants us to say we can't do it. The enemy wants us to say we can't go to different polling spots. We can't get all of that registration stuff needed to be done in order for us to vote. But the devil is a lie. He wants us to fear struggle so he can kill our progress. That is why so many people fear from moving from one side to another. Meet me at the text. Luke in the foregoing 21 verses held Jesus before us as the greatest preacher of the gospel. He is now used as the almighty ruler even over the force of nature. I'm going to give you 3 points. We're going to holler. Then we're going to go get ready for Sunday school. First thing you do, we find in verse 22 is we found that we got to trust the Lord when He says move. We've done all we can do on this side. Looking at this pericope from Mark 4:34, we can conclude that the Savior, towards the evening of the day, when he had been so busy and told so many parables, said to His disciples, "Let us go over unto the other side of the lake." And because He was tired and exhausted, they took Him to the ship and launched forth. And I think that it's important for us to recognize that in this story, we see the duplicity of Jesus. Jesus was thoroughly divine, which shines light on His teachings in the parables, healing the sick and encouraging the oppressed. He is also thoroughly human, which brings to light His need for rest.
Yes, sir.
He's both divine and human at the same time. He needed at this particular moment in His life to simply get away and rest. Let me stick a parenthetical pen right right here. You and I need to learn the importance of and learn how to find rest in our lives. You can't be everything for everybody. You got to learn how to find a moment to steal away and to get you some. It wasn't by accident that Jesus went up on the mountains numerous of times by himself, because he needed some rest. He needed to get away from folk. He needed to get away from folk always trying to draw out of him, draw out of him, draw out of him, draw out. Do anybody know what I'm talking about? Some folk, the only time they call you is when they need something. Some folk, the only time they show up is when they're in need. Some folk don't care how you doing, but they want to make sure you know how they do it. You better find you a mountain and get you to rest. Look at your neighbor and tell him, stop letting folks stress you. Life too short to let folks stress you. You're going to let them stress you and kill you, then they going to cry, drop you off at the cemetery and leave you there by yourself. Sometimes you got to turn off the phone. Get off Facebook. Get off Twitter. Get in the presence of the Lord and get you some rest. I gave you that for free. As much as you may like to act like it, and as much as people may want to believe you are, you are not superheroes. You cannot do it all. There is only one you. God rested on the seventh day. So why don't you and I learn how to rest? Look at your neighbor and say, you better rest before you be resting in peace. It's a rest. Jesus needed to rest, and he knows that resting requires movement. Because there are some people and there are some places that just not going to let you rest. So he says to his disciples, let's move. The word for you and me today is trust in the Lord when he says move. You don't have to know where you're going, how you're going to get there. Neither do you have to be privy of what you will have to encounter along the way. Just have enough faith to say, if God sends me, I'm guaranteed to make it. I got 5 minutes. Second thing, trust in the Lord when it seems he's quiet in your storm. Trust in the Lord when it seems he's quiet in your storm. It is a special characteristic of the Sea of Galilee that although it generally lies quiet, motionless, because it's surrounded by hills, storms sometimes arise there unexpectedly, especially from the eastern side where there are high mountains. Violent windstorms, often with extreme suddenness, come rushing down the lake. So you could be sailing 1 minute and everything is going fine, and the next minute, with no warning, waiting, nor word, and out of nowhere, the storm can arrive. Everything can be going hunky-dory. All your friends will love you. You got more money than you got bills. You got more answers than you got questions. You got more solutions than you got problems. Then you wake up and the storm is staring you in the face. It didn't ask you. It didn't ask your permission. It didn't give you a warning. It just showed up and it said, deal with me. And to make it even worse, Jesus is quiet in your storm. A lot of us won't sail not because we see a storm there. We won't sail because we know that there's a possibility that a storm will come. I'm one of those people. That's too much water to drink. And I know hurricane season is from June to November. So from June to winter to November, I ain't getting on no boat. Well, the forecast says that there's a 100% chance of clear blue skies over the Bahamas seas. I don't care. Because that storm may show up on day 4. And I'm out here in the middle of this water on this big boat in this big ocean, and this water that got bigger than this boat. Perfect storm. That's all right, you can have it. You got to trust God when it seems that He is quiet in your storm. And when you get to verse 24, because I'm done, time says I'm done, you want to hear the whole sermon, come back. You ought to come back anyway to see Pastor Fontenot. So come back. Amen. Then maybe next week you ain't got to come at all. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Somebody say, I'm doing 2 and 1. I ain't going next week. Come back. The last thing is we got to trust the Lord to get to where the Lord sent us to. We got to trust the Lord to know that we will make it to where the Lord sent us to. We have to trust God that we will make it to the other side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because if God told us to go, we're guaranteed to make it, regardless of what we got to go through.
Yes, sir.
Because every step of the way, He's right there, taking care of us. So trust Him when He says go. Trust Him when it seems like He's quiet in your storm. And trust Him enough to know that if He said go, you're guaranteed to make it. Somebody put your hands together. Give God some praise. Doors of the church are open. Doors of the church are open. If there is one who is out of the altar safety, the invitation to you is to come candidate for baptism by letter Christian experience. If you're here, why don't you come? We would love for you to be a part of our church family where we're all striving to be everything that God says we can be. If you're here, why don't you come? Amen. Somebody put your hands together. Give God some praise in this place. Before we dismiss, I am asking anyone who would like to be a part of our 745 security ministry team to meet me in the back in the W Bridge Fellowship Hall for just a few minutes next Sunday after 7:45, in between 7:45 and Sunday school. So if anyone would like to be a part of our 745 security ministry team, we're going to meet next Sunday, right after 7:45 service in the WB Regional Fellowship Hall to talk about our 745 security. Amen? Amen. 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 Let us all stand on our feet. Join hands across the aisle and let's sing our doxology and our benediction. we exalt the Savior, empower the saints, and evangelize the sinners. Sunday school will start at 9:10 a.m.
Okay. Tuesday. Rubber gas. You may need to send me your. I can just send it to your email address.
Email or phone. Email or the phone.
Okay. Well, send me your email address again. I believe it. You know how your phone cycles. I believe it done cycle out of it. Since I had that girl doing it, and I hadn't seen her, so I'm gonna make sure I have. But we're going out and feed the hungry Tuesday.
Okay.
So we'll be taking a bunch of pictures. Hey, baby.
How are you?
All right, how you doing?
I'm well. Where are your choir members? Oh, my goodness. How are you? Good to see you. Hello. Need to get you up there.
I can't come on me also.
Hey, can't touch it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, hey. How we doing? Good.
Good.
Come on, Bill. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, Jesus. Look at you.
I told him he got his dancing with the stars.
Hey, Fred Sam.
She's something else. You like it?
Oh, man, you got it going on. Hey.
You act like digging at me. I think nigga that nigga's been wanting to cuss in church.
Right?
He's been wanting to cuss in church for years.
No, listen. Woo. Can't touch it. Look at him. Quit it. Hello, my dear. How are you, honey? I was coming to get you.
What's up, man? How you doing, man? Good, brother. Good? Yes, sir. Good to see you, man. You too, man. I'm trying to be like you, man. Better than that. He called me up here, then he go away. So leave him alone. Got to meet with the people.
I'm gonna get you some. I'll get you some.